When the whole family comes together to watch the game, nobody wants to miss a second of the action to run to the grocery store. With Instacart, you can get all your weekly groceries in as fast as an hour. Less time shopping means more game time. Let's go. Visit instacart.com to get free delivery on your first 3 orders. Offer valid for a limited time. $10 minimum per order. Additional terms apply.
Okay, what's the number one reason you should try Instacart? Shopping over 1.5 million unique products from over 1,000 retailers and get everything delivered right to your door in as fast as 1 hour, all in one app. So you can spend more time with the ones who matter most. Visit instacart.com to get free delivery on your first 3 orders. Offer valid for a limited time. $10 minimum per order. Additional terms apply.
Yeah.
Showtime. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Are you ready?
Ready.
This is the Bob and Jeff Show, starring Bob Lutz.
Jeff has made a life of being himself, and look what it's got him. He's on a TV show at 12:30. You know what they used to put? Beep at that time.
Jeff Lutz.
Here's why I've gone vegan. It's not really like the milk or the eggs themselves. It's what milk and eggs are put into.
If you ask me, that stuff rots your brain.
97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Stand by for action.
All right, we are back. Hour number 2, the Bob and Jeff Show. No show tomorrow. K-State football will be on these airwaves starting at 2:30. Long pregame show before the kickoff in the Pop-Tarts Bowl against North Carolina State coming up tomorrow at 4:45. And we'll be back on Friday. All right.
Will you be here Friday?
Shannon, you've been holding patiently. We ignored you in the first segment. We apologize for that. How are you?
I'm great. Happy holidays and Happy New Year and all that good stuff. I had a couple things I needed to say. Thanks. I wanted to call thanking you for getting me in your league, fantasy league. I had 5 leagues, and of course the league I'm in with you is the one I did the worst in out of my 5 leagues. Of course, I didn't get last.
Well, you've embarrassed yourself, and we won't soon let you forget it.
Do you guys remember who got last?
It was me.
Okay, I'm just checking. But I do appreciate you having me in the league. Now, the other thing I have. By the way, I'm going to try that place out across from Intrust, Solly and Jews. What is it called tomorrow? So I got to let you know how that goes. Yeah, I'm pretty excited to try there in New York.
One thing that is interesting following you on Facebook. You do like to get out and try different restaurants. So what I'd like you to do is send me a list on Facebook of 10 that you think I should try.
Well, I would love to do that, and I will. And then, Jeff, I still got to take you out for that Cuban at Metro Bistro in Andover.
You want to go tomorrow?
Let's do it. I got to do it early, though. Well, wait. Sorry, Thursday. I told you I was eating tomorrow. I can't do it tomorrow. I can do it Friday.
Thursday's better for me because we don't have the show. But
let's do that another time. And what's your second point, Shannon?
Bob, I'm sad to hear that you're no longer supporting the Raiders.
Here's the thing about the Raiders. If they hire Pierce as the coach, which I think is about a 50-50, maybe less than that because this clown owner thinks he knows everything.
Correct.
He's probably gonna the success that the Raiders are having under Pierce, Antonio Pierce, is probably working against him in Davis's mind. Makes it less likely that he'll be hired because I don't think Mark Davis has a clue.
Well, I don't think you hire him now. People are saying hire him. They just beat the Chiefs. They've had 2 great weeks, after scoring 0 points with the Vikings. But you can't just hire someone after an emotional win. Let's see what happens these next 2 weeks, and then think about it. I think Pierce could be. He's a player. He was he's a player's coach. He's kind of like that Mike Tomlin from Pittsburgh. I kind of like him, and I think he'd be a good addition to the Raiders.
I do too, and it's been a confusing run here because the Raiders are maddening, as you well know. I never became a Chiefs fan, but my disdain for the Chiefs, which I've held for decades, really lifted this year. And here they are, a pretty average team. So I'm the kiss of death.
Love it.
Seems
Love
like
it.
it.
Well, thanks again
Shannon,
for
send
letting me get in the league.
list. I look.
And give me a chance next year to redeem myself, possibly.
Yeah, no question. We'll get you in there. Send me that list
All
when
right,
you have a
thanks.
chance.
I will.
There's our friend Shannon talking all over the place, trying to arrange a lunch on the air, which is just horrific radio. But that's
fine.
What?
We're we're tight. We're peeps. You know, we're friends.
You're not peeps. You and Shannon aren't peeps.
Oh yeah, we are. Both musicians. I mean, it's good stuff.
Let me tell you, you are not a musician.
How do you figure?
Because you play an electrical drum set?
It's a drum set. It just happens to be digital. It's the drums.
Nobody on tour is playing a digital drum set.
It's the drums. It's just not loud, so you don't have to blow up the house with it.
Well, listen, I can't imagine that it's much, if anything, it can't be very good.
Come watch me play Hotel California and then say
Someday
that.
I will.
Thank you. I'll sing it at the same time for you.
Someday I will. I'll do that.
No, you won't, but I appreciate it.
Russell Wilson benched by Sean Payton, who was screaming at him a couple games ago on the sideline. I just let my two Broncos friends know that I'm a little bit upset with Sean Payton. I want to see what their reaction is. They're going to start Garrett Stidham the next 2 days. What do you need to see about Garrett Stidham?
Jarrett Stidham.
Garrett is what I'm calling him.
You can call him Garrett.
What do you need to know about him?
Nothing.
That you don't already know.
Nothing.
He's a nothing. Here's Raider Nate. It's suddenly turned into a little bit of a Raider show. Raider, how you doing?
Hey,
Raider.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm doing good. I like that electric drum set that doesn't make any noise. Might have to think about that for my kiddos eventually. But hey,
Jeff,
I just wanted
if
to.
that only worked when Jeff sang, we'd really have something.
I sing fine. Don't listen to Bob.
But yeah, I just wanted to call in. I haven't called in a while. I won't lie. I was kind of like Bob at the beginning of this season. I've been incredibly apathetic. The first season I have been. And if we don't rehire our head coach, Pierce, in this offseason, I will be just as apathetic going into next year. You said it, Bob. We've got this boneheaded owner now that seems to always want to get that flashy toy, like the Gruden or the McDaniels, and it feels like we might have something going like that again. And then just one more thing. Jarrett Stidham's not a bad quarterback. He played a few games for the Raiders last year when Carr was out. And that guy can sling it. I don't know if he's as good as Russell Wilson, but that's a whole bag of worms that they're going to have to.
Well, we'll see.
There.
We'll see what he does. He's going to get a shot in Denver. Speaking of, I wish it'd be nice if the Raiders had him still, because O'Connell is certainly not the answer.
Doesn't look like it.
No, certainly not. It's going to be interesting. I imagine we'll be in the quarterback market this offseason. Justin Fields is a name that I've seen pop up on all the message boards. That might be a pipe dream, but always keeping our options available. But, yeah, I'm feeling good, especially after that last victory. But, yeah, definitely haven't called in a while, but wanted to get out there and let them know. Bob, if we keep Pierce, I'm going to send you some more Raiders gear next season.
Thanks, Nate. Always good to hear from you.
Thanks, guys.
As we get a little into the Raiders here,
impromptu.
Didn't expect that. Always good to talk a little Raiders.
Well, we
football.
talked to Capra a couple weeks ago after the shutout against Minnesota, the 3-0 game, and I'm sure he's even feeling a little bit better. They do need a quarterback, but a lot of pieces are in place.
Well, we'll see.
That young running back.
I like that kid out of Georgia, White.
Zamir White.
Yeah, he ran really well. So we'll see. We'll see if Devontae Adams, what his mood is after the season. He may want out. And then you got that to deal with. But there's at least, listen, when you go into Kansas City and you win, regardless of the struggles the Chiefs are going through, you feel like you got one. Feel like you stole one in a way. Because that hasn't happened very often.
Where is the game? Because in our picks you didn't put at anywhere. You just put verse. So I assume the second team that you list, like Cincinnati, they play in Kansas City, right?
Correct. Anybody with a grain of wisdom would know that.
Well, usually versus means the first team is home, and at means the second team is home.
You just read it and you go with it.
Okay.
It didn't confuse me in the least.
Well, yeah, you wrote it, but you gotta tell us where that game is.
Well, you know where it is. It's in Kansas City.
Okay, but I didn't know where Detroit-Dallas was, and
You know where it's in Dallas.
I didn't know where Miami-Baltimore was.
Well, it's in Baltimore.
Didn't know that.
Well, then you're not paying attention.
How would I know that?
Because it's been talked about all week. Here's the game. Boy, can't wait for these games. Dallas get a chance at home to let's see who's real here. And then Miami on the road at Baltimore. I can't tell you how many times I've heard about Miami going on the road in this game.
You have? That's good.
Yes.
I don't usually listen to the talking head guys, but
well, then that's your fault.
I guess they just don't add value to me.
All right, we got a bunch of games to pick. 9 of them. We'll take a break so that we can get that going. I have not heard from one Jason Duda all day. Texted and texted, no response.
Well, it'd be nice if he.
I don't know if he
made himself available.
I don't know if he's doing the picks. I certainly hasn't sent them to me. So
maybe he's lying back, waiting in the weeds.
What do you think he's doing? What do you think's going on?
I don't know what's going on. The Christmas season is over.
It'd be nice to have a response.
I agree.
We'll be back. Picks coming up next. Jason Duda joins us.
They're both big hits.
He gets all our loving each and every day. Duda, thanks for responding to my text 5 hours later. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
There it is again. Just the non-caring, carefree, everything, anything goes. It's just a wonderful existence, and we're very proud of you. How was Christmas?
Oh, it was good. It was good.
If you were right here right now, I'd kill you.
Why?
All right, Max, let's hear the music. Get into our picks.
You guys.
Nah, I don't care.
Let's go. Let's go. You need another beating this week. Let's go.
By the way, we are not even done with last week's picks. 2 more games tonight, A&M, Oklahoma State, and Louisville, USC. Currently, Duda leads with 27 points, Max with 25, Jeff with 24, and I'm lagging behind at 15.
Uh-oh.
So I need a good week. We start in the college ranks. Missouri taking on Ohio State. I believe that's in the Alamo Bowl, if I'm thinking correctly. Ohio State a favorite in the game by 3.5 points. I'll start here. That line's kind of jumped all over the place. It looks like Ohio State's held on to more players than was anticipated. I'm picking the Buckeyes for 7. Jeff. Although, man, I wish I hadn't said 7. Jeff.
Well, they don't have their quarterback, right? He's transferring. Do we know that Marvin Harrison is playing in this game? I don't think that he would be.
It's not our job to give you that information, right, dudes?
So I don't think the Buckeyes have much. I'll take Missouri for 6.
What about you, Duda?
Yeah, these college games, I don't know who's going to play, who's not going to play. I'll take Missouri for 3.
And Max.
Yeah, I like Brady Cook, the quarterback. And they play tough against Georgia, so I'm taking Missouri for 2.
Well, there I am again, out on an island. Kansas State, the Pop-Tarts Bowl tomorrow afternoon, 4:45 kick. You can hear it right here on KFH. The Cats, a 2.5-point favorite. Avery Johnson at the helm. Jeff.
These picks are brought to you by FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook and the official sportsbook of KFH. I just don't trust Kansas State's youth. I don't know if North Carolina State has a bunch of transfers and people opting out. Everybody does. It's impossible to know what's going to go on in any of these games, but I'm going to pick NC State for a meager 1.
Jason Duda.
Yeah, I'm with Jeff. These first 4 games, I have no clue, so I'll take K-State for 1.
K-State for 1. When you say you're with Jeff, I thought you were going to pick NC State. Matt.
Just with Jeff on the fact that I don't know who's going to be playing.
I don't know. I like K-State's put up a lot of points all year. I'm going with K-State for 7.
I like K-State, too. I think Avery Johnson is going to wow a national audience in this game. Whatever national audience is watching, I think he's going to be outstanding. I like K-State for 6. Georgia and Florida State. This is a game, my goodness. Both as mad as a hornet, especially Florida State. 7. Wait a minute, I got the wrong games up here. 19.5 points in this one. Favored Georgia. What about you, Duda?
Well, I agree, but Florida State can't score. That's the problem in this game, but the line's so big. I'll take Georgia for 2.
Georgia for 2. Max.
Every time Georgia's had that big spread, they haven't covered. So I'll take Florida State for 4. 19.5 is a lot of points.
Florida State for 4. Jeff. Oh, it's my turn.
Yeah.
No way. Man, no way you can pick this game. It's so weird. Florida State's got to cover here. But for 2. Jeff.
This is what Jason Duda and I like to call a gift. Yes, the spread is large, but Florida State has nobody. Instead of just trying to prove their worth and show people maybe that they belonged in the college football playoff, they've got opt-outs, they've got transfer portal guys. Georgia for 8.
Well, now I'm cheering as big as I can for Florida State.
Well, I assume you would be since you picked them.
Come on.
But they're not going to score. Duda's right. They have no chance.
Well, Duda only picked it for 2. They'll score a couple touchdowns.
Well, he likes his NFL games, but he gets it. He knows as well as I do.
Liberty and Oregon facing off in the Fiesta Bowl. Good for Liberty. 17.5 points, though. They are the underdog. Max, we start with you.
The Ducks have too much. I like the Ducks in this one for 9.
Liberty might have bitten off more than they can chew. I like Oregon for 5. Jeff.
We know Oregon will score and score a lot, so I'll take the Ducks 2 for 4.
And Duda.
I'm on board with everybody. I got the Ducks for 4.
All right, a clean sweep. Alabama, Michigan, one of the national semifinal games in the Rose Bowl. Coming up on Monday night, Michigan favored by 1.5. I start this one. I like Alabama to cover here for 8.
Wow.
Jeff.
8. Can you explain that level of confidence?
I just think Alabama has a chip on its shoulder. And Michigan's played with a chip on its shoulder late in the season and gotten mileage out of it. But it's harder to sustain a chip on your shoulder.
So since Alabama's chip is newer?
Yes. Okay. Alabama's chip is newer. I pick Alabama. Jeff.
Well, I'm picking Alabama as well, mostly because of the egg that Michigan laid in the college football playoff last year. Not a ton of confidence like you. 2 points.
Duda.
You're both wrong. Michigan will win this game. No problem. Michigan for 8.
Laughable. Max?
Well, Duda's on fire, and for some reason I'm with Duda. Tom Brady's alma mater. Harbaugh's got something to prove. I'll take Michigan for 8. They can't possibly do what they did last year.
Yeah, they're going to be so bad.
And you're picking
it's
Bama
gonna
to
be
win,
so
basically.
Disappointing for you.
I mean,
Alabama's going to win, no question. It's going to be Alabama in the national
There's a
championship.
question, but
Not for me. Texas and Washington, the Sugar Bowl in the other semifinal. Texas a 4.5-point favorite. People have been underestimating and short-selling the Huskies all year long. That continues in this game. Jeff.
I'm trying to think about whose chip in this game would be newer. It seems like it would be Washington, but I don't follow that logic. So I'm going to take Texas for 5.
Texas for 5. Duda.
I've watched both these teams play a little bit. I'm not overly confident in Washington at all, so I got Texas for 9.
9 on a college
That's
game?
the craziest pick I've ever heard. Max.
Well, we'll see, boys.
Washington's quarterback's getting some love. He'll probably move up in the draft a bit.
Should have won the Heisman, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'll take Washington for 1.
Washington, by the way, is 13-0. So
Yeah.
No, they're not.
Of course they are. They're 13-0.
Washington?
Yes. Do you not know that?
Then what?
They're 13. Dude, help me out here.
Oh yeah, they are.
Why? It's absolutely ridiculous. It's ridiculous. He doesn't
like he
know
dropped
that.
in from another planet.
They are. They're 13-0. I knew that.
Oh my!
They're playing Texas in a semifinal
Unbelievable.
game.
Unbelievable. I don't know where the love for Texas. I certainly don't understand 9 points for Texas.
No, you will. You will when the game's over, Bob.
Washington for 1. Now we move to the NFL. The Detroit Lions on the road to face Dallas. Dallas coming off a couple of poor road performances. They've lost a couple. They're no longer maybe seen as the threat they were. They are favored at home by 6.5. We start with Duda.
Yeah, Detroit's not great on the road. Dallas has got to bounce back here, so I'll take Dallas for 5.
Dallas for 5. Max.
Yeah, Dallas plays different at home, and I don't trust the Lions on the road. I get the Cowboys for 5 also.
I think actually Detroit's been okay on the road. I'd have to look that up. But
They lost at Chicago.
well, a lot of teams lose at Chicago.
Yeah, a lot.
They got pounded
Well,
at
they do.
Baltimore.
A lot of teams get pounded at Baltimore. They won at Tampa. They won against the Chargers. They won at the Saints. They won at the Vikings. Oh, I mean, they're
Well,
4-3.
Pick them then.
Probably go with Dallas in this one for 3 points. Jeff.
I'm going to make this a clean sweep. I've got more points than all y'all, though. I've got the Cowboys for 7.
Miami on the road to play the Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore 3.5-point favorite at home. We start with Max.
Ravens are on fire. I mean, they went in San Francisco and lit them up. I get the Ravens for 6.
Ravens for 6. I think Baltimore is unquestionably the best team in the NFL. They will expose whatever weaknesses Miami has, they'll expose them. Baltimore for 9. Jeff.
Now I'm rooting for Miami.
Good luck.
Because you said that. Baltimore for 9.
Well, why don't you pick Miami?
Because I didn't want to, but what you said irritated me, so now I'm rooting for Miami.
Duda.
I don't know. Baltimore obviously looked good, beating up on San Francisco. Good team at home. Miami doesn't play that well on the road. Jalen Waddle's probably not going to play. What are they going to do? Why am I going to do this? I don't know, but I'm taking Miami for 6.
Worst pick of the year.
You've been saying that.
Max,
for the last
write that
week,
one down.
Robert.
That's the worst pick I've heard this year.
Put on the idiot alert or whatever.
Yeah. What is that?
Boot
Let's
alert.
hear it, Max.
Boot alert. Boot alert.
Finally.
Did we get Max's pick on that one?
Yes, he picked Baltimore for 6.
Okay.
I can't believe you picked Miami, but that's okay. You know, you're on a roll. So Cincinnati at Kansas City to face the Chiefs. The Chiefs were very good to me in the first half of the year. They've been very bad to me recently. As I told our guest Vahe Gregorian yesterday, every week when we make picks, I say a little voice in my head says, this is the week the Chiefs break out. And it's just not happening. It's a 7.5 point game, according to the odds makers. Cincinnati had a little run. Man. Oh God, this is. I'm gonna give the Chiefs one more chance. Kansas City for 4. Jeff.
Jake Browning has looked really good, and it seems like the metrics are backing him up. It's not just, a flash in the pan thing. Might end up being, but for now, I'm going to go with Cincinnati for 3.
Jason Duda.
7 in the hook. Come on.
The hook?
Kansas City can't score more than 20 points. I got to take Cincinnati. Cincinnati for 7.
Max, we know who you're picking. How many points?
Yeah, I'm taking the Bengals for 3. They haven't announced if Jamar Chase is going to play or not, but they have T. Higgins, and I think Chase will play, so I'm taking him for 3.
Well, there you go. My last flirtation with the Chiefs.
Strange.
They may fail me again. I just can't believe what's going on. All right, lots of differences as we make our picks, including the biggest college games of the season. If you're wondering who we have in the national championship game, I have Alabama and Washington, although I only have Washington covering. I think it'll be Alabama and Washington. I do think the Huskies
they
they
win against Texas.
What about you? You have Alabama and Texas?
That looks like it, yeah.
You don't think okay.
Yeah, that's
you
what I
have
think.
Michigan and Texas, Jason?
I do.
And Max has Michigan and Washington. Is that right, Max?
Yeah.
Or do you think Texas wins but Washington covers?
No, I like Washington. I think Washington can pull it off. I like their quarterback.
Michigan and Washington.
So
different. Nobody feels the same way about the national championship.
It's interesting.
Are you guys seeing
All
this
right,
military
thank you.
bowl? They're playing in a monsoon. Oh, my
Tulane
God.
and yeah.
Glad they went to that game, the fans.
Tulane and Virginia Tech in
Jeez.
that one. Cake.com earlier today insinuated that the wind surge could be on the move to Columbus, Georgia, citing stories in some articles in the Columbus Ledger-Inquirer. Columbus is trying to attract a AA franchise to its city, but the wind surge is not going to be that AA franchise, and Cake has since retracted its story and said that it was wrong. So I guess everything that ends well is good, but let's go ahead and meet these things out a little bit before we put a story up that would send baseball fans in our community into a tizzy. Just irresponsible as far as I'm concerned. And thankfully, I'll give kudos to Cake for cleaning it up, but there shouldn't have been anything to clean up. 869-1240 is the phone number. If you have anything to contribute here in the final moments of the show, my wife texted me, and she's you know how phrasing. You know how I am with phrasing. I'm big into phrasing.
Yeah, and then you're very irresponsible with it at times as well.
What does that mean?
When I say things directly, you misinterpret and think I've said something that I didn't say.
Well, that's because my interpretation is spot on.
You're a read between the lines guy when I don't give any lines.
So my wife texted me that she's going to see if she can meet her sister at New Way for a quick bite. Now, she uses that quite often. I'm going to go get a bite to eat or a quick bite. And my retort to her is, please take more than one bite. do you see that
colloquialisms are not good for you?
But do you see that I'm spot on that?
Not really. I think if you know what the person means, you don't need to pick on them.
Well, I don't know that it's picking on them, but you see what I'm saying? I mean, you could understand my attention to detail.
That's not detail. That's just overbearing and unnecessary.
Well, I think she gets a kick out of it.
You think so? Well, I sure hope so at this point.
Well, I mean, it's been an ongoing thing for us.
I get that.
Whenever she says, I'm going to go grab a bite, first of all, do you grab a bite?
Or
you grab the food to bite it? Or do you really?
And I know you do that when she says, I'm going to run to the store or whatever.
I don't want her running. I just want her to take her time and be leisurely about it.
So you don't use any...
No, have you ever caught me in one?
Any regional dialect?
Have you ever caught me in one? Think real hard.
I don't know. I don't pay as close of attention as you do to that.
You've proven my point. If I say, I never say I'm going to run to the store. What I say is I'm going to go to the store.
I doubt it. I'm sure you've said I'm going to run to the store before.
And when I go out to eat, I say I'm going to go out to eat.
Doubtful.
What do you mean doubtful? I'm telling you exactly. I'm not. This isn't anything that needs to be disputed.
Okay, well, I'm going to listen to you tomorrow. We'll both forget.
But we're not on the show tomorrow.
Friday. Are you on the show Friday?
I don't know. I haven't decided yet.
Let's do a 3-man.
Haven't decided yet. But yeah, I mean, you won't catch me doing things like that.
Oh, I will.
I'm very factual oriented.
But I don't catch you. Why I'm not? You don't fall into my arms. I don't outstretch my hand.
No, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
There's different definitions of the word catch. If you look up the word, that's one of the definitions. Discover,
phrasing matters.
Well, but my phrasing, I wouldn't. It's
sounds
perfect.
sounds like you're really struggling now.
My phrasing is perfect. If we're gonna get right there.
Oh, okay, I'll take your word for it for now. Until I don't.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
It happens.
Tonight we got some bowl games, including a couple that we picked. And then tomorrow, K-State and North Carolina State in the Pop-Tarts Bowl. I'm looking forward to watching it to see Avery Johnson.
Yeah, he's the draw at this point. First start ever, right? He
Out of Mays High School.
Yeah.
I think he started one game, didn't he? The 5-touchdown game.
I don't think he started that one.
You sure about that?
Pretty sure.
But are you sure? Check that out. You're quick on the phone. Give me a... It felt like maybe he started. Maybe not.
Will Howard was in that game.
Maybe not. Maybe you're right. And I'll give you credit if you are. But Avery was certainly in that game early on.
This is his first college start.
There you go. Well, good for Avery Johnson.
Yeah, we're proud of the kid.
Can't wait to watch him
Bigger and better
perform.
things to come.
I think he's going to have a fantastic game.
I think there's too many variables for me to say that, but I believe that you believe it.
Well, Jason Bean had a fantastic game.
He did.
6 touchdowns. If
you're asking me if I think Avery Johnson will have a fantastic career, I would say yes.
Here's my numbers for Avery Johnson tomorrow night, and I'm going to write them down. Okay? 285 yards passing.
285 passing?
107 rushing.
So K-State wins 93-6.
285 yards passing is not crazy.
Well, he's a runner first.
No, he's a passer. He's going to be a passer.
He will, but I don't know that they're going to unleash him.
They're going to unleash everything.
With a young receiving core as well.
They're going to unleash it all tomorrow.
Okay. I'm going to bet the under on both of those.
Well, what are you going with?
I'm not going to go on anything.
Well, go do it.
I don't have a prediction.
Well, how many yards will he pass for if you had to guess?
192.
Okay. How many will he rush for?
He'll rush for 76.
So you're underselling him in both areas.
Not underselling. That's 260 total yards.
I've got him down for 392.
It's a lot.
That's how much I believe in the kid.
I think he's going to be fantastic.
I'm looking. That's a bowl game that I will watch, much like I tried to watch all of the KU game last night, but could only make it to halftime. I hope the production on the Pop-Tarts Bowl is better than the name of the bowl. I hope it's not a Pop-Tart production.
Well, I wouldn't get my hopes.
When's the last time you ate a Pop-Tart?
Many, many, many years.
Do you like them toasted or just right out of the package?
I'd rather have them. I don't know. I can't even answer that because I don't have a frame of reference. In his 5 touchdown games, he had 91 yards rushing. You've got him over 100.
107, right?
Yeah. When's the last time you had a Pop-Tart? I bet I would love the chocolate ones. I just don't grab them.
It feels like it's been decades.
Yeah, me too.
Although, in another way, it feels like there was a little stretch maybe where I got some, and I don't know. I feel like it's probably been decades.
I bet Pop-Tart sales are up because of the Pop-Tarts Bowl.
Well, they got to be.
Like people are thinking, I haven't had a
Pop-Tarts
Pop-Tart.
have been around a long time.
I know.
People like them.
They must.
Fruity flavor with the crust. I mean, how good is that?
I'm going to go get some chocolate Pop-Tarts.
You're going to stop on the way home.
Nah, probably not.
Go ahead.
No need. We have food at the house.
Yeah, but not like...
No Pop-Tarts.
Oh, you know what?
Maybe no pastry.
I may ask my wife to bring home a pie.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd
like to take a bite of a pie.
My aunt-in-law, is that a thing? Made
a
chocolate pie for Christmas and didn't even put crust on it. That's
not a pie.
It was so good.
That's not a pie. That's
what is
pudding.
It? I don't know. There might have been crust. Who knows? But it came out like cake almost.
Well, that's not a pie again.
I don't know what's
a
pie.
cake.
Not going to define it. I don't think it needs
chocolate cake.
But it had whipped cream and it had all this.
You can put whipped cream on cake. There's no law against it.
Had all the stuff that a pie would have, except
like what? Except the crust, which is one of the 2 ingredients.
I don't know for a fact that it didn't have crust. There wasn't any in mine, and I heard rumblings that there was no crust.
Well, I don't get it.
Talk that it was faint.
All right, we've come to the end. Thanks to everyone for joining us. Thanks to Denise Neal, Mike Furchess for being our guest. To Max Power back in the booth. We will be out tomorrow, the K-State Pop-Tarts Bowl against North Carolina State, on this air, starting with the pregame at 2:30, kickoff at 4:45. We'll be back Friday. We'll see you then.
When the whole family comes together to watch the game, nobody wants to miss a second of the action to run to the grocery store. With Instacart, you can get all your weekly groceries in as fast as an hour. Less time shopping means more game time. Let's go. Visit instacart.com to get free delivery on your first 3 orders. Offer valid for a limited time. $10 minimum per order. Additional terms apply.